Okay, yesterday's video, I went over sword and shield versus a pole arm in an ideal situation where the pole arm is being nice and cooperative and allowing you to approach at your leisure. Clearly, this is not always going to be the case. You have to remember a pole arm can be a mass weapon. And if a pole arm is taking shots at you, he has two ways of doing it, and you have to adjust your approach accordingly based on those two approaches. The first approach is he's using a mass weapon exactly as you would expect, and he is hammering as hard as he possibly can. That's your opportunity, because if he is throwing like that, he's got to do a full return to get the next force, the next shot, and that's when you approach. If he's doing it with a little more control, and I'm throwing light shots, this is when you make contact and you can approach the same way we discussed yesterday. You can make contact, close, hand it off, and finish. Now, once you get in close, there's a couple things you have to bear in mind with a polearm fighter. Sometimes they'll have the head up, sometimes they'll have the head down, and adjust how you want to do. But either which way, what your opponent is going to do is use your shield for protection. You can see where his shield is right now. His shield is protecting about 75–80% of my body. He can't hit me through that shield. And the way I have my pole arm makes an offside very, very difficult to get through. So he's essentially stuck throwing wraps, which I can easily block. The second thing you have to be aware when your opponent is in close, and you have to be able to anticipate this, the other thing a polearm fighter is going to do is hip check you out. Because if I can back you up, I can throw. You have to be able to sense that. You have to be able to stay, you have to do the combination of staying light on your feet so you can track him if he's trying to run away and back up and throw shots. But you have to be able to tell when he's getting ready to brace and hip check you, because as you hip check, that's when you're vulnerable. That's when the polearm fighter is vulnerable, because if he's hip checking and all his strength is throwing you backwards, I'm not in the middle of making a shot. I'm in the middle of knocking you back. I can't block. Hit me. Just a few more things to keep in mind. Thank you.